U.S. immigration crisis, the human cost of mass deportations and global fallout. Good evening and welcome to our special report on one of the most pressing issues of our time, U.S. immigration policies and their far-reaching global impact. Over the past few years, the United States has implemented some of the most controversial immigration policies in its history. From mass deportations to the suspension of temporary immigration programs, these actions have sparked heated debates both domestically and internationally. Tonight, we'll take a closer look at what these policies mean for migrants, U.S. allies, and the global community. To understand the current state of U.S. immigration, we need to look back at its history. The United States has long been a land of opportunity, attracting millions of immigrants seeking a better life. However, in recent years, the narrative has shifted. Under the Trump administration, immigration policies have taken a more restrictive turn. The focus has been on securing borders, reducing illegal immigration, and prioritizing American workers. But at what cost? Let's break down the key policies that have dominated headlines. First, the mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. In the past week alone, hundreds of individuals have been deported via military aircraft. This move aligns with President Trump's campaign promises to enforce stricter immigration controls. Second, the suspension of temporary immigration programs, such as those for migrants from Ukraine and Venezuela. These programs, once seen as a lifeline for those fleeing conflict and instability, have been halted indefinitely. These policies have not gone unnoticed. Protests have erupted across the country, with critics arguing that such measures are inhumane and counterproductive. Supporters, on the other hand, believe these actions are necessary to protect national security and the economy. Now let's talk about the human cost. For many migrants, these policies have turned their lives upside down. Families are being separated, and individuals who have lived in the U.S. for years are being forced to return to countries they no longer call home. Take the case of Maria Gonzalez, a mother of two who was deported to Mexico last week after living in the U.S. for over a decade. Maria Gonzalez: I came here to give my children a better future. Now I don't know what will happen to them. They were born here, but I can't take them with me. It's heartbreaking. Maria's story is just one of thousands. The emotional and psychological toll on these families is immeasurable. The impact of these policies isn't limited to the United States. Allies and international organizations have expressed concern. Pope Francis recently criticized the mass deportations, calling them a disgrace. Meanwhile, countries like Mexico and Guatemala are struggling to accommodate the influx of returning migrants. These policies are also straining diplomatic relations. For example, Mexico has warned that the deportations could lead to increased instability in the region, potentially fueling crime and poverty. Beyond the human and diplomatic costs, there are significant economic implications. Immigrants play a vital role in the U.S. economy, contributing to industries like agriculture, construction, and technology. By restricting immigration, some experts warn that the U.S. could face labor shortages and economic slowdowns. Dr. Emily Carter. Immigrants are not just workers, they're consumers, taxpayers, and entrepreneurs. Restrictive policies could have long-term consequences for economic growth and innovation. So what does the future hold? With the 2024 presidential election on the horizon, immigration is likely to remain a hot-button issue. While some advocate for a more compassionate approach, others argue that stricter policies are necessary to maintain order and security. One thing is clear: the decisions made today will shape the lives of millions and redefine America's role on the global stage. As we conclude tonight's report, it's important to remember that behind every policy there are real people with real stories. The debate over immigration is complex, and there are no easy answers. But one thing is certain: the world is watching, and the stakes have never been higher. Thank you for joining us. What do you think about U.S. immigration policies? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more in-depth reports.